So this is Summer
and Jody,
and we are Active Pursuit. And we decided to try this Facebook Live just because we've never done it before. And so today is Thursday.
It is.
And Jody just got off the phone with the hospital, and I'm scheduled for surgery. We have to be there at 8 a.m. and then the actual surgery will take place at 9:30. And between 8 and 9:30, anesthesia will meet with me. They'll start my IVs. They'll hopefully give me something to feel a little bit jazzy and good, because then they're going to go and do the needle localization to put the wire near where those concerning cells are. And then after that, then I get to go with Dr. Sable into the surgical suite and cut those little nasties out. We are outside, so you might hear Zoe, who's banging the camera as she walks around in her usual I'm almost 1-year-old puppy way. And the kids playing around and the birds singing and all that jazz.
It's a beautiful day here in Norberth.
It is. Mm-hmm. Zoe, stop it. So I think one of the funnier things about all this is that number one, they told me to wash with Hibiclens. So it's a Chlorhexidine gluconate. And what they told me was, so this is the surgical suite people telling me this, is to wash with it tonight before I go to bed. So I have a basketball game from 9 to 10 tonight. Mm. And then, so when I get home, like 10:30, I guess, I'm supposed to take a shower. And then when I'm done with that, then wash with this and then rinse it out. Then get in the bed. And then the next morning, do this again. So the first thing I asked them was, well, should I maybe clean my sheets? Like, they don't know how long I sleep in the streets. I might not change it every 2 years. So she thought that was a pretty good idea, the nurse thought, that I do change the sheets. So that was one thing. And then the second question I had is, well, what about the person I sleep with? You know? Or maybe
I've
the
got
whole
to be
family.
dirty in the sheets. Maybe I should take a bath in the Hibiclens.
I'm thinking that I don't need to take the bath in the Hibiclens, that you do.
Yeah. You'll be more antiseptic if that's the case.
Yeah, so you get Chlorhexidine, and maybe just by being near you,
I had some of that for breakfast today anyway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just topped off my OJ with that. It said gluconate, and I thought, that sounds like sugar. So I'll make that tart taste go away a little bit.
Yeah, I think that'll be helpful. Okay, I have a question. There is 3 and now 2 people watching.
Oh, hi out there.
How do you get? I'm afraid to touch it.
Yeah, don't touch it.
Because last time I ended it. But like, what does that mean right there? Can I touch it?
I don't. Oh, you're too curious. Don't do it. Don't, because things are going to happen.
I know, I wish.
But how do those 2 people communicate with us?
I wish Ifrit had stayed so she could at least tell us what we could.
Okay, touch it. I think, because that looks like, it does look like them. We'll see them.
I can't
touched. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, you're okay. Wait. Okay, allow your ears to
now this is the.
There we do, and then there we go. All right, now we're gonna go.
I hope they're still
there.
there.
Oh my God, I hope.
Oh, baby,
it's still going on.
3 people.
Uh-oh. So then
we're the most popular on the internet now, I think.
Oh, come on, Joy. You know what? When we got one new follower,
James McNeil.
Hey, James, how are you? So the other thing is that I'm wondering about how I should behave when I show up for the surgery.
What are your concerns?
I don't know. You know, I thought maybe, one thing I said is I would wait until they gave me the anxiety medication. Mm-hmm. But if
sorry, I'm missing.
Yeah, we are too, man. Yeah. So anyway, so besides you having to clean and Hibiclens, does that mean we're both going to actually do the Hibiclens thing?
It's going to be in the laundry. It's going to be in the bathtub.
Okay.
I think it's a Hibiclens
all right.
night.
So totally Hibiclens everyone.
Either that or betadine. I'll just be orange all over.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. That would be funny.
Yeah.
That would be very funny.
Halloween, maybe.
So then the next morning, I got to get up and I have to put the HIPAA on as well. And then, but then I got on the phone with the surgeon and I went to go over this stuff, and she says, I don't believe in it anyway. So I'm thinking, wait, I just bought the package, and the surgical team is telling me at the hospital to do this, so I'm assuming that there's an impact in decreasing infection. But the surgeon's saying, don't do it, so I'm not exactly sure what to do.
Right.
So the lazy person in me would go do it. No, wouldn't go do it, right? Because it's one more thing to have to do.
Right.
And it sounds like it's going to be cold. And then, but the person who's crazy concerned about having any aftermath effects, like infection, is thinking, I should do this.
You know what
So
this sounds like?
I'm in conflict.
You know, it sounds to me, Summer, like one of your central pushes in your life was humanizing healthcare. Here's a medical doctor who's been told 2 different stories about what she's supposed to do when she has a procedure tomorrow morning and doesn't know.
Exactly.
Couldn't the medical field get their act together and have a concerted message for the patients?
One message, yeah, and just tell me exactly what to do.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's my first debacle in the whole thing. My second debacle is that why am I doing this? Like, like, you know, do I really have to go through this again? I'm kind of a little over this.
Are you talking about the HIPAA cleanse, or are you talking about the procedure tomorrow?
Oh yeah, the procedure. I don't want to do this.
Okay. We're not necessarily in the realm of rationality.
No. I'm not
Okay.
being rational.
I got
So then the third thing that I just want to share is that my stepmother, Joan, is also the same day getting another breast procedure. So she has been amazing. We've been talking throughout this process. She had breast cancer a number of years ago, and as I shared in another video, she actually has had a different type of cancer come up that was caused actually from the do you want to take that from the dog and like throw it away?
Good girl. Good girl.
But it was a different kind of cancer that came up.
Here goes nothing. There she goes. Okay.
And it's called angiosarcoma, and it was basically caused from the radiation treatment that she did to cure her cancer. Right back. The dog is lightning fast. And so now she's got to go through another, so she read through another surgery to take all of that tissue out. And now tomorrow we're having twinsy surgery day, because I'm going in to get my breast tissue sampled and hopefully removed any irregular cells. And she's getting reconstruction from her very extensive surgical removal of her cancer. So I talked in the last video about this really being about a spectrum disease. I'm really on the super early detection area, very localized, more almost of an inconvenience and a scare. She has been super powering through this and has been super brave, and is actually going through a pretty significant, I think this will be her 3rd surgery in about a month. And so just kudos out to you, Joan, for being a rock in our family. And I think as I'm coming out of surgery, she'll actually be going into surgery for her procedure. So I know everyone's sending me great wishes, and also put her in your prayers too. And so I guess that we'll be texting her as I'm coming out, and she'll text us as she's going in and out. So yeah, kind of like mother-daughter surgery day tomorrow. That's kind of different. I don't even know what to say about that.
It is weird. It's like a twinsy day, you were saying. I need to get the information of her caretaker so we can go back.
That would be my dad.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and forth with him.
Yeah, because she had said that Dad could give you suggestions, because he's been taking care of her for like a month through all of this. So now the dog is banging the phone again. So all right, my turn. All right.
So, Summer, I have a question for you. Tomorrow's this procedure, and you've had some anxiety over it over the last, understandably, week or so. How you feeling right now?
Zoe. Oh my God. Excuse me. 1 second. Let me break this stick so she's not breaking it.
There we go. Okay.
I threw half the stick in the other yard. So it's interesting because we are actually going to post a video on an argument that we had, and it was a pretty big one. And on my end, it dealt with around the fear around that, even though I haven't been talking about the fear. And I've been pretty stoic as far as my family's concerned about this. But inside, I've had a lot of anxiety, not so much about spreading of cancer, but more about what I'm going to look like afterwards, things like that. Because my last surgery, it was like right on my neck, and it was kind of devastating to me to see that scar for 2 years. So that has been, and then I felt alone for that, and we talked about that, and we'll talk about that in the video. And then, like a flicker happened in my head yesterday that I am going to look different. And so this may sound really odd, but I actually wanted a picture of what I look like now in case I looked a lot different afterwards, because we don't know the extent of what is going to have to happen. So I actually was thinking, I'll take a picture, and then I'm realizing I couldn't do it, so I asked you to do that. And when you took the pictures, I realized how upset I was about the whole situation. I just haven't been talking about it. And I reacted as you're taking the pictures.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about that when we kind of go over the argument video. We're going to do a part 1 on that. But that's when I realized that, I might be kind of, I just sent my daughter away for the weekend to go play in a tournament that I was supposed to be at. And so that was a little sad to me that I can't be with her for the tournament. We'll hopefully join her on Saturday after I get a day of recovery. But I think I've been trying to put this more in an education perspective. I've been saying to women, hey, go get your mammograms. This is important. Finding these things early is important. But it also was a reminder that time is ticking. We only have this one body that we have to live in for our time on Earth, and there's a lot that I want to get done in this time on Earth. And this is just one more reminder that I'm mortal, and that at some point this journey is going to come to an end for me. And it's not going to be because of this episode of breast cancer, but my grandmother died of metastatic breast cancer. So it's going to be something. And I think for me, it's been being reminded once again that our time on Earth is short. And I think I have probably a better connection with that than most people after losing my own son and already having a bout of cancer before as well, and then losing my mother when she was young, and Liam's father when he was young. So I think I get all that, but it's like, do I need one more reminder? Cut me some slack. So anyway, does that help?
It sounds to me like there are feelings inside, and you're still riding with them, and you're aware of all the other things that have happened in the past, and they're coming to the fore now. You're thinking about it, but you're still functioning, and you're reaching out. You're not going inward. You're reaching out, and you're sharing your story with a lot of people.
Well, and I think that actually the Narbirth community taught me a lot about that. When Nicholas became ill, and I rushed him to the hospital, we were in this extremis for 24 hours of just what's going on, what's going to be his diagnosis, etc. And that I rushed him to the hospital. I think it was Friday night, maybe Thursday or Friday night. But I know that whenever I kind of had a moment, it was 4 o'clock in the morning before I was supposed to play Saturday morning basketball with my women, with my girlfriends. And I said I had to send them a note and just like tell them what was going on. And then all these emotions poured out. And I just basically said, hey, I am so afraid. I don't know what's going on. And, my son's really, really sick, and way more sick than I thought he was. And, they're telling me he could have cancer. They tell me that he, could be that his bone marrow just shut down. And we don't know. And I'm frightened, and I can't do this by myself. Like, I realize that. And Narbirth reacted. Narbirth, came to our family's aid, and we weren't known. We were known by a lot of people, but we weren't known. And just the vast amount of resources that came forward was amazing. And I think that taught me to shift from being really closed. I used to never talk about anything or share anything with people because that would be dangerous. To being way more open and willing to share, because I think it gives people a chance to jump in and to be part of someone else's life and to help. And I think that can be pretty inspiring.
It is, I think. It reminds me of basketball in a way. I'm hearing your story.
Everything reminds Jody of basketball.
I can tie it in. It is, because that coach up in Boston, the Celtics coach, that Brad Stevens, he's always preaching to his team. And it's one of the things that I love about him as a coach. He's a great coach. He talks about reaching out. When things are going bad in the game, you can shrink inside. You can be inside yourself. And really, that is actually the time to reach out and help your teammate and sports is not, as we've gone over in some of our other videos, sports is not a perfect analog to the rest of life, but it can teach a lot. And that's one of the things that, you can learn from sport, to go out and help your team. And I think that's what you're doing, Summer. You're faced with the challenge. And there's two ways you can go. You could shrink and you could cry, and you could be inside yourself, or you could reach out. And this kind of reaching out is so positive for not only the people who were watching us, but
obviously your basketball analogy went like, get real-time feedback on that one, baby.
But also for you personally, I think it's helpful. That's a good way to be. You're not avoiding it. Right. You're embracing it and sharing it.
Yeah. Thanks, Jody. I really appreciate that. And also, my job as a physician and as a leader is to try to use whatever I can to help other people to excel in their lives. And this is one of them. So if my experience can get one more woman, or 10 more, or 100 more, or 1,000 more women to get their screening mammograms early and in time, and if we catch, one or a few more cancers and save not just the woman but her family from suffering, then coming out and talking about this is really worth it, as far as I'm concerned. So.
Absolutely.
So anyway, I'm curious. Leave your comments. What do I do tonight? Do I do the chlorhexidine wash tonight and tomorrow morning? Does Jody do it? Because
we should put a poll
he's a guy
up.
And they're stinky, and so of course he would.
Hey, I got to defend my brothers here. We're not stinky all the time.
Do we both, or do we just like oh no, the dog! I forgot the dog.
Now we'll have to clean the HIPAA.
So we'll be careful. Come on, good girl. Good girl.
She returned it.
Release, good girl. Look at, she brought it back. Come here, puppy. No. You gonna come here? Come here. Thank you. Here, we'll do a little cameo from the doggy. All right, y'all. Love you. Thank you very much for being supportive. Message us. Jody will be on tomorrow. I'm not sure I'll be in a position to be on, but I may just be babbling like I was during the biopsy.
That's perfect.
So anyway, peace out.
See you later.
Hey y'all, I'm Summer.
And I'm Jody.
And we are Active Pursuit.
Please subscribe to our channel.
And like this video.
And don't forget to turn on the bell for notifications.
And share this with one of your friends.
Please add comments because we read them.
And connect with us on social media. All of our connections are in the dialogue box. And we look forward to catching up with you.
See you later.
Ciao.